Hey guys, it's Lindsay from Wannabe KY Homesteaders, and today we are making wet cat food as well as grooming our cats. So I am starting off here. I put some water in our roaster and I'm going to add 5.5 pounds of chicken to our roaster. I think it took around 2.5–3 hours for it to cook. So I am getting started with all that, and then I'm going to start measuring my other ingredients. I definitely overbought ingredients, so I made little packs and froze the rest of everything, so then that way I can use it again, adjust the recipe, whatever it may be, I will have extra. So part of the reason I wanted to do wet cat food is to help cut cost of taking care of our cats. We are big on TNR in our area, and we currently have 5 cats. So not really by choice, we try to rehome them, but if we can't rehome them, we're not going to let them go without. And cat food is very, very expensive. I opt out for a little bit better quality just because I think in the long run it helps us out. Lower vet bills, lower cost. Something I typically do not buy though is wet cat food. It is super, super expensive. It smells terrible. I'm just not a fan. So I decided I wanted to try essentially to kind of give our cats a treat in a way and maybe help us out a little bit, maybe offset the cost of the cat food some. Probably not a lot, but every little bit helps. So everything that I read said majority of the cat's diet is going to be protein. Any of the wet cat food that you get, majority is protein. Vegetables are a very small ratio. So I wanted to make sure that I incorporated that, and I will have the recipe that I used and the ratio that I used in the description of this video. I kept it very simple. I kept it very basic. I did not want it to be complicated, and I also did not want to invest bunches of money into this, especially if they did not like it and they did not eat it. So they do eat it, they do like it, they're not crazy about it, but that's okay. It will work for what we need. So, and I will try to include a little bit of a cost breakdown for everything I got. Granted, it's not going to be completely accurate because I did get some of the supplies at Sam's Club, and then I got some of the supplies at our local Myers. So after I get that chicken in the roaster, again, I'm getting everything measured out. I did a triple batch, so I decided to have, the leftover material. I made those as a triple batch as well, just so I can keep it simple, and I am labeling on those bags exactly what's in there and how much I need in order to complete the recipe essentially. And I was a complete idiot and forgot to wash everything, so I had to make myself a little note to make sure I wash all the vegetables before I actually cook everything. So I went with using carrots, peas, spinach. Here I have canned pumpkin. It is just plain pumpkin. There's no sugar, there's no anything extra to it. It's just plain pumpkin. And I will also be adding a fish oil. So earlier in the spring, well, probably about a year ago, I made wet cat food as well, but I canned it, and the smell was very strong. It was a lot. Did not like it. So, and I will say this did not smell near as strong. It honestly smelled kind of like chicken noodle soup in a sense, or like a chicken and vegetable soup. The only thing I added that did not smell great was that fish oil, which you see me adding there. However, once I got everything blended and mixed together, I really couldn't smell it at all. So definitely gonna get everything saved and labeled, throw that in the freezer, and then I'm moving on to brushing and grooming our cats. So I'm pretty good about keeping up with toenails just to make sure those murder mittens stay not sharp or overbearing, because I do not like getting scratched, and then that way they don't scratch each other if they're playing. So first I'm going to start with a de-shedding brush here, and I'm going going to start from the bottom and work my way up. For the most part, all of our cats love to be brushed. They enjoy it. And this is sped up, so it is look like, I'm pulling really hard, but I'm not. So after I use that de-shedding brush for the undercoat, I use that butter comb, and that helps get out any other clumps or hair that I have missed. And then after I finish brushing them, I work on cleaning out their ears. So Miss Callie here is very notorious for having dirty ears. She doesn't have any medical conditions. We've asked the vet before. She has dirty ears. So we do our best to keep up with cleaning them, just so she doesn't get any infections or anything. And also, I really like to try to keep up with my brushing because I think it helps with the hairballs as well as less hair in the house floating around. Granted, come springtime, they will go out during the day and be in at night, so that kind of takes care of that issue when it comes to them shedding in the house. But again, keeping them brushed also helps with the hairballs, and that can help cut down the cost of vet bills because those are not cheap, no matter if it's yearly shots or a visit for sick or injured cat. Not cheap. So here I am washing up our vegetables before I start mixing all the ingredients together. So it really did not smell bad at all. I know I said it before, but I was pretty amazed by the lack of odor, smell, aroma, whatever you want to call it, from the food. Definitely appreciated it too, because I despise the smell of that wet cat food you buy from the store. So again, I do not want this to be their main source of nutrients or anything. I am just adding it with our dry food, especially like if we need to give any sort of medication or a supplement. It's much easier to mix that in with wet food so they don't see it versus, trying to actually give them medication, which thankfully our cats really don't have to have medication often. But, it is nice to always have something like this on hand in case I do. So here I am just mixing everything together before the chicken. And next time I think I'm going to try just shredding the chicken and then blending up the rest of everything else. Might work a little bit better, might be a little bit easier. Overall, it really wasn't bad to clean up after this. It wasn't super messy, and it was a pretty easy project for the most part, so it wasn't complicated, which was also much appreciated because I didn't want to spend my whole weekend doing this. And when I canned it, it was a very long process because I had to cook the chicken, I had to cook all the vegetables, I had to combine everything and blend it. Then you had to pressure can it, and I want to say I had a pressure can for 45 minutes to an hour, and then pressure has to come down, and then you take everything out and you have to wait for it to seal. So this was a much easier, quicker process, and I put the additional that I made in Ziploc bags, and it's just in our freezer. So if I need to start giving them wet food, or if I know I'm going to need to use it, I can always pull it out the day before, put it in the fridge so it starts to thaw. I hope to give it this, a couple times a week, kind of more as like an incentive, a treat, just instead of their dry food. So, and it, again, it looked kind of odd. It looked very similar to the first time when I canned it, but I was very surprised there's no fish smell from that oil, because it did smell pretty strong when I was adding it in originally, but I really can't smell it there. So here I am just getting it ready so I can feed the cats later this evening, and I'm going to put the rest again in those Ziploc bags, keep it in the freezer just for when I need it. So that definitely will save me some time, because again, if you've ever tried to give a cat medication, it's not easy, it's not fun, and you much rather hide it in food. And also the cleanup, not bad. So here I am, I'm just going to give everyone little bit to try it, and I'm still going to mix their dry food in with it. So, and we have 5, so that's why we, have 5 little bowls there, getting everyone ready. Top off with some of that dry food, and everyone will get their evening dinner. And you see one Miss Callie there, always excited for food, doesn't matter what it is. And then the others are just kind of indifferent about it. Everyone eats it, have it on hand, and hopefully I can kind of keep playing around with ingredients and recipe to really nail it down and get something that the cats really enjoy, just so it saves me some time in the future and hopefully a little bit of money. But I thank you if you've watched this video to the end, and I will catch you guys on the next one.